on decongesting, not decongestation, decongesting prisons. Alternative bills go to Parliament. Alternative bills. Yes, we're still talking about our prisons, and that's coming from the Attorney General, Mr. Godfred Yeboah Dame. And there's also a picture of Mr. Isaac K. Ejiri, Director General of the Ghana Prisons Service. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Mr. Godfred Yeboah Dame, will soon lay before Parliament 2 bills that will provide alternative sentencing other than imprisonment for accused persons and convicts. And I hope all this is geared at reformation of people who are accused and convicted, rather than we just settling for our traditional methods. More on the front page, we have a date is put here by PwC, Price Water Company, date 23rd November 2021, and the time is 9 a.m. and this is on the 2022 budget. It's a digest program, how to break down the information coming from our budget. So PwC 2022 budget digest, and is scheduled for the 23rd of November. And on the top part, we have withdraw directive to stop road tolls collection. That's coming from the Speaker of Parliament, and that particular story is on page 16. I want to dive into it a little because we're going to hear a lot about it. Speaker directs the Minister, the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Alban Sumana Kingsford Backbane, has directed the Minister of Roads and Highways to immediately withdraw the directive he issued last Wednesday for the cessation of the collection of road and bridge tolls in the country. He said Mr. Kwesi Amwako Atta, as a member of the executive, had no authority to issue such a directive. Speaking on the floor of Parliament yesterday, Mr. Bagbin explained that the executive could not on its own suspend the implementation of any law without consulting with Parliament. This house cannot be taken for granted. That is not democracy, and that will be one-man rule. And so I want to clearly direct that what the minister has released has no effect, he said. So there's more, and we will be discussing this. So don't go anywhere. As I said, we have more things and good things that is in store for you. So MIDA hands over air conditioning test laboratory, an air conditioning test laboratory to the GSA. Is also on page 16. The Millennium Development Authority, MIDA, has handed over an air conditioning and refrigerator testing laboratory to the Ghana Standards Authority, considered to be the first such testing facility in West Africa. The 1.8 million US dollars laboratory will enable the GSA, Ghana Standards Authority, to test and ensure that all air conditioners and refrigerators imported into Ghana meet the minimum energy performance standard set out in the Energy Commission's energy efficiency regulation. So that's by way of a gist on this. There's more to it, and it even continues on page 20. So make sure you grab a copy of the daily graphic. And I'm moving on to some other issues here. Parliament is being told to use credible data to strengthen oversight responsibility, and that's on page 17. Akachi North DCE rejected again. So on a middle spread, we have build synergies to advance digital innovations. Build synergies to advance digital innovations. That's coming, of course, when we hear digital, it's coming from the VP, Dr. Baumia, urging banks there. And then we have World Toilet Day. Oyoko Methodist SHS students cry for decent toilets. Yes, they're using the World Toilet Day to cry out for decent toilets. That's our SHS. And I think that all SHSs should meet a particular standard. We should make sure they meet a particular standard. And that should include such facilities as WCs, etc. I'm jumping on to sports there. Local sports, GFA fires back at SAFA. You want to hear more about it? Of course, you would have to grab a copy of the daily graphic. It's there. Glyco urges Hazakes ladies to win trophy. So Glyco in the mix for Hazakes, and we want to see more of that. More companies come to the support of the Hazaka ladies who are doing Ghana proud. Chelsea will be our next victim. That's coming from King Faisal coach. So that's it. On the back page, Hazakes ladies shows Sundowns chase Champions League glory tonight. So let's watch them tonight. I believe we'll have more on our sports section later. Government rewards Olympic team with $150,000. Government rewards the Olympic team, and that will be a wrap up on the daily graphic. So I'm jumping straight to the Ghanaian Times. The Ghanaian Times. Fallout from 2022 budget. Fallout from 2022 budget. Speaker halts toll booth closure, and he directs roads minister to restore tolls. Yes, I did say that it's going to be a major topic. It is a major topic across the newspapers already, and we will be discussing this here. So on that story is on page 4 of the most authoritative newspaper. On page 17, taxes on fuel must go. And I support that. Taxes on fuel must go. GPRTU reacts to 2022 budget. Nungwa elders, youth disrupt official opening ceremony of Oka Deco. So that's an update on the Oka Deco issue. Or even though a court has given the order for this building to be stopped, they continue, and now the elders and youth have gone on to disrupt their opening ceremony. So for all those concerned, that story is on page 15. And again on page 17, Kasua Tuba Junction hawkers kick against closure of the toll booth. Yeah, they kick against closure of the toll booth, and I can understand why. I'm jumping straight to the middle spread. Enrollment onto pension scheme, and that's coming from SNIT. The Director General of SNIT, Mr. John Ofori Tinkran, says will target informal sector workers next year. Come 2022, informal sector workers are going to, some way, somehow, you are going to be placed on the SNIT scheme. That's good. Kasua Tuba Junction hawkers. Okay, that I've already read. And the other story here also was on the front page. So straight to sports. Hazakes ladies face Mamelodi Sundowns. So yes, Sundowns is enough for me. In CAF World Cup. Is that World Cup? WCL. Let me leave it at that. Women's Champions League final. Women's Champions League final. And Inter Allies Liberty clash as DOL begins today. That's the Division 1 league. So Inter Allies and Liberty to clash today. At least we have 2 matches. The Hazakes ladies and then the Inter Allies and Liberty clash. And then government splashes $150,000 on Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games team. Yeah, the Olympic Games. So we want some of these enhancement packages and all that should also go to our ladies football team, especially I'm talking of the Hazakes ladies. Anything to reinforce them will be a plus because they are doing so well. So there's more on sports on page 30 and 31. Yes, the SAFA push for Bafana Ghana replay is also there. And that will be it for the Ghanaian Times, the most authoritative newspaper. So I'm doing the new weekend crusading guide next. The new weekend crusading guide. And we have a picture, of course, of the Speaker of Parliament, Alan Backbane. And he says, road toll suspension stokes fire. Road toll suspension stokes fire. The Speaker orders Minister to reverse decision, but majority says no way. Majority says no way. Then on the 1.75% e-levy, Dr. Baumia is right. Who is saying this? There's a picture down there of Razak Kojo Opoku. He says the poor and vulnerable are exempted. So Dr. Baumia is right. Okay, on the top part, Tre Abosom hails road toll abolition. Tre Abosom, Osofo Tre Abosom, yeah, I got that right. He claims it was part of his 2020 campaign message. Well, I don't know if I heard the full, I've ever heard of this before, but certainly we'll go back and see. We'll go back and see if it was part of it. But yeah, that's a thumbs up from him concerning the road toll abolition. Tension in Asamankese as factions clash over imminent celebration of Obuodan Festival. I hope I got it correct. Oh, please forgive me if I have it wrong. Forgive me, I beg. Pardon me. National Security and IGP, National Security Minister, called to intervene. And if this is a celebration, I don't know why there should be clashes. Ghana, we need to move away from some of these things. And remember, the exhortation this morning says, let your words build and encourage instead of breaking down and causing all these clashes. Let's sit down and try and move this nation forward. The little you do counts. These clashes are unnecessary. More trouble for Oka Deco. I read on that earlier as Nungwa elders stop official opening ceremony of Spintex branch. To the penultimate page, baseless and frivolous. That's coming from GFA. GFA issues strong statement on SAFA allegations. And FIFA killing African football, says Ivory Coast coach Patrice. Oh, okay, FIFA is killing African football, says the Ivory Coast coach. All right, okay. As for his name, Patrice is all I can mention. So that will be a wrap up for the new weekend crusading guide. I'm jumping straight to the Daily Statesman. The Daily Statesman. Road tolls removal gets mixed reactions. Of course, from the new crusading guide, we heard that majority is going no on what the speaker said, and the speaker himself was also going no on what the roads minister said. So there are a lot of controversial issues. The sports ministry establishes pension scheme for black satellites. Black satellites, that's good. DG, Director General, rising pension cost affecting SNIT operations. The rising pension cost is affecting SNIT operations, and that's on page 4. Again, the last story here, Kojo Opoku, he says e-levy doesn't target the poor and the vulnerable. E-levy doesn't target the poor and the vulnerable. I'm sure he has more to say on that on page 2. On page 2, and I'm jumping to the back page. Patrick Vieira, that's Arsenal icon, to Crystal Palace top 4 manager. Okay, so we see him having a nice rapport with one of his players. That's the Leeds midfielder Jack Harrison. Flight carrying Afghan girl footballers lands in UK. Afghan girl footballers, okay, lands in UK. And I'm wondering why this is making such news, but it's here on the back page of the Daily statesman. And the girls and their families arrived in Pakistan in September after receiving threats from the new Taliban regime. That's it for the Daily Statesman. What does the Daily Guide have for us? Daily Guide screaming headline: Ato Asian admits bankruptcy. Ato Asian admits bankruptcy, and that story is on page 3. Ghana, that's a Capital Bank case. 620 million Ghana cedis Capital Bank case, and he is admitting bankruptcy, and the story is there on page 3. Then the Attorney General pushes plea bargaining in criminal trials. Okay, pushes plea bargaining in criminal trials, and we are told of the two, alternative bills that are being placed in Parliament. Sosu accuses police of fraud, and that story is on page 3. Since it's in the court, we leave it at that. The less said about it now, the better. Confusion over toll booths. Yes, we heard about it. Confusion over toll booths, and it is. If you have your Daily Guide, it's on page 6. GFA blasts SAFA over spurious claims, and it's on page 16. Page 16. That is the back page. It's here. What does the GFA have to say in their blast? That is their response harshly to claims by the South African Football Association, describing it as blatant lies aiming at dragging Ghana's name in the mud. We'll keep up at it. We'll see where updates coming. Of course, updates that is going to trigger any response, maybe from FIFA or from where it matters. Accra Open off to a flying start. And we see a picture of Kwesi Amoafo Iyeboah. The Accra Open Golf Competition, that is the capital's biggest competition, teed off to a flying start at the Achimota Golf Club on Wednesday. And that will be a wrap up for the Daily Guide. And I'm going to my last, obviously, but not the least. And I'm sorry, it has images not so good a sight there, but it says amulets fail to stop police bullets. Amulets fail to stop police bullets, and that story is captured on pages 2 and 3 as 5 armed robbers. We have pictures of 3 here. 5 armed robbers dispatched is in inverted commas in Western and Ashanti regions. I don't know if I should take a little look of that. All right, there 3 armed robbers were killed at Wasadunkwa in the Amenfi West district of the Western region yesterday after they reportedly engaged the police in a fierce gun battle. Meanwhile, in the Ashanti region, 2 robbers were killed in a similar fashion as they first opened fire on the police. A police source contracted in Accra confirmed the Western region story but could not give detailed information about the operation. Okay, so that's a rather bad picture, but again, Backbench challenges minister's cessation of road tolls, but majority disagrees. So a picture of the majority leader, Osei Mensah Bonsu, and a picture of the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Backbench, there. Coup witness put to writing test. Hey, coup witness put to writing test. And we also have the Ghana Standards Authority gets conditioners and refrigeration test lab. I read a little on it earlier. So jumping to the sports segment, that's the back page of the Chronicle. Chelsea and Leicester in early kickoff. Okay. Barcelona welcome Espanyol as Xavi takes charge. Inter Milan and Napoli in top of the table clash, and Arsenal travel to Anfield to meet Liverpool. Oh, that's 2 of my favorite teams there. Okay, we'll see how this stands on, but there is more of weekend fixtures are there for Saturday and Sunday. So if you want to know more on this, I think you should grab a copy of the Chronicle, the Mkonto with Sizwe, the True Independent, and you get all that. That will be a wrap up. Mkondo, was Sizwe. Please, I'm being given the correct pronunciation and intonation on this. Unkondo with Sizwe. Why Sizwe? Thank you very much, Pep, for that little literacy. Would it be Bantu or what language is that? Well, thank you for it. Zulu. Okay. Thank you. I cannot wrap up the newspaper headlines without going straight to the Bible quotation that the Chronicle always affords us. It says, today's is coming from Galatians 6:7. Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. Do not be deceived. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever one sows, that will he also reap. Whatever one sows, that will he also reap. And looking at the issues on the front page, I believe you can connect the dots. And that will be my final say for the newspaper headline. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back here. Yes, we'll still be back here to continue with discussions on some of the topics that made the newspaper headlines. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
CB will make up now. I'm correct. Why your best mankasa? That's it. Oh, middle. You captures back on CB men capsules. Missy CB men capsules and make a year.
Yeah, you CB men and women's capsules now. You knew the data. And one year packaging I had a pepper.
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada go di fie and come home.
Susanna, Ghana man be man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA adi edwedin kato yat. Malaria and tea. Abba, you are yet more bono.
Which you are doing it.
Malaria therefore yao. Enti awo. Ashire ne customers ni. Wa hu ne se maami aye smart. Ape CB Malakio. Amma ne baya odi ko school. She se aduane si berry market chi ani malaria enti a ontimi ni. Onia. And na ho ema we mu biara to wo. So we malaria test. Maybe wo mo a. Edrebedi wa ene CB Malakio. Yedinu na ne hahama. Na keka bom asone so aye CB Malakio. Edro we so de. Anya nyonkra o. Aye tata she.
Edro yi nyema apemfo. Abata ya woma womanfo. Ene nkoda a woni mfie dumie.
Suziana. Wow, how would you win?
FD ahwehwe saa ejedie nkrato yi mu agye atomu se eye.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 05092577754, 02094949258, or visit our marketing desk at Step Work premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Water. What do not get your mouth? And that's all I'm order. The rag you are fire.
Malaria enti aba yi waye juma bono.
Which you are doing it.
Malaria therefore yao. Enti awo. Ashire ne customers ni. Wa hu ne se maami aye smart. Ape CB Malakio. Amma ne baya odi ko school. She se aduane si berry market chi ani malaria enti a ontimi ni. Onia. And na ho ema we mu biara to wo. So we malaria test. Maybe wo mo a. Edrebedi wa ene CB Malakio. Yedinu na ne hahama. Na keka bom asone so aye CB Malakio. Edro we so de. Anya nyonkra o. Aye tata she.
Edro yi nyema apemfo. Abata ya woma womanfo. Ene nkoda a woni mfie dumie.
Suziana. Wow, how would you win?
FD ahwehwe saa ejedie nkrato yi mu agye atomu se eye.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 05092577754, 02094949258, or visit our marketing desk at Step Work premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Do you know that we have phenomenal influence on our various regulatory bodies? How many of these regulatory bodies do you know within the country? Are you aware you can lodge your complaints if and when you are not satisfied with a product or service? How often do you ask the relevant questions? Whom do you call when things are not rightly done? Connect with me on Regulators on Adoatv as we deliberate on the purpose of these regulatory institutions, their functions, accomplishments, and shortcomings. We ask the back-breaking questions and get the unpolished truth. Be a part of our conversations.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
If you see me make up now, I'm not go correct. Why your best mankasa?
That's it.
Who anymore? Oh, middle. You captures about one CB man capsules. You see, CB man capsules in America.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You knew the data. And one year packaging I had a pepper.
Wow! What a packaging! CB man, any CB woman capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do mpegi.
She are painful. Any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada won di fie do ye. En ka ho.
Susanna. Ghana man man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750.
FDA aje edwedin ka so yato.
Malaria and tea. You are yet more bono. Malaria, therefore, yaw. Enti awo. I shouldn't a customers. One is a mammy, I smart. Upper CB Malakio. A man buyer or the eco school. Share. Say a Genesis berry market any malaria and tea. I want to mean. And now Emma will be around to walk. So we have malaria test. Maybe one. And better one. And the CB Malakio. Yedinuna. Nehama. And now kick out one as soon as I CB Malakio. And no way so there. And I don't grow. And yet that shit.
A drawing yama appeal for a battle woman for any quada one in fear.
Susanna. What do we get?
FDA asheshe saa ejedi enkrato yi mu agye atomu se enye.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing decks at Stepwork Promises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
So if you dey wonder how I do my thing, it be my God. Oh. No money, how me here while it be my God. Oh. So when you see me rolling on your block, it be my God. Oh. Like a sickly woman, coco, in my God. Oh. I never dey wonder, never worry. Oh. My baba dey my body. I never dey holla for my money, I call on my God. Oh. I never dey wonder, never worry. Oh. My baba dey my body. I never dey holla for my money, I call on my God. Oh. My people, let me hear you say, you know be coco for my God. Oh. Be coco, eh. Wahala be coco for my God. Oh. My people, let me hear you say, be coco for my God. Be coco, eh. No matter be coco for my God. Oh. I go dey shocky for my God. Oh. Azoto for my God. Oh. I go shokoto for my God, oh, and I go the shocky for my God, oh, Azoto for my God, oh, I go shokoto for my God, oh, and when I'm shopping, there's nothing I no go fee afford, oh. See me rocking my Balenciaga for my God, oh, and by His grace, there's no girlie I no go fee run, oh. Be on a beat and I dedicate it to my God, oh. Hey, I feel His goodness and His mercy from New York to New Jersey. No matter what I they get it from my God. Oh. I feel His goodness and His mercy from New York to New Jersey. No matter what I they get it from my God. Oh. My people, let me hear you say, be coco, eh. Wahala be coco for my God. Oh. My people, let me hear you say, be coco, eh. No matter be coco for my God. I go dey shocky for my God, oh. Azoto for my God, oh. I go shokoto for my God, oh. And I go dey shocky for my God, oh. Azoto for my God, oh. I go shokoto for my God, oh. And oh. Waiting no be coco for my God, oh. EL baby, the wahala be coco for my God, oh.
Another edition and another segment, let me put it that way, because the other segments have happened already. Thanks to Na Anyama Collison for the news, and thanks to Ijeoma Juliana for the newspaper headline. I'm here to serve you with the political discussions, and today our discussion is going to be centered around the budget. There has been a lot of talking points coming out after the finance minister went to parliament and went to read the budget for 2022. There is the e-levy, the conversation that is still ongoing. There is the road toll conversation that is still ongoing. There is the U-Start conversation that is still ongoing. Of course, we're going to also try as much as we can to bring you some more information, some more explanation and opinions on what is happening as far as the discussion in the budget is concerned. I have with me Mr. Jibril. Maestro speaks for the NDC. Later, we may be joined by the colleague from the NPP. And the good thing is that because we stand to inform and educate, we are going to, at some point, put on a lawyer to tell us the stand of the law when it comes to suspension of the law or a parliamentary act, let me put it that way. And then we also have some economists to come and also give us some, comments on what it means to be taxing the electronic transactions that we have in the country, and also the impact of the abolition of the road tolls in the country, how we can mitigate it, or how governments can mitigate it, as well as the U-Start that is supposed to, or that is targeting young entrepreneurs and giving them the start, the right start. It is not just the money, as I heard the Deputy Finance Minister speaking yesterday. It is not just the money. It is also to provide a technical know-how and some other management skills to young entrepreneurs to start right, and the money still, they get to the desired point. So kindly stay with us as we go through the conversation, and I'm sure you would get the right information right here. Good morning, Jibril. How are you doing?
Yes, Sam, it has been a while. I'm good. I'm good. Sorry.
Great to have you back.
Yeah, Chief. It has been a while. You know, the way things are going, we need to adjust ourselves.
Okay.
Very, very well.
All right. How is your constituency doing?
Well, there's a lot of talks with regards to this budget, and then clearly things are not all that okay. Our constituency in our expectation, because there has been a lot of promises to our people. You understand me? And then they were able to appreciate their vote a little bit. That MPP has never won in our constituency before. MPP has never won since '92. Okay, but they're able to appreciate their vote margin in the sense that, you know, people want sweet talks, people want promises. They also want to see what they can able to do to them. And seems like they do not. They are disappointed.
Okay.
They are disappointed at all.
Okay.
So, but in all, we are doing well. We give thanks to Almighty Allah. Today is Friday. I say good morning to Juma Mubarak to all the Muslims across the globe.
Okay.
And then to my MP Honorable Alhaji Yusuf Jaja. Yeah.
Okay. Good morning to you, wherever you're also watching us from. We believe you're doing very well. Now, the budget has been read, and of course, as usual, there has been a lot of conversation as far as the budget that was read is concerned. This was quite expected, because even before the budget was read, some of these highlights of the budget were being discussed in the system already. Unemployment was a topical issue in the country. It has been, throughout the year, and was quite at its peak in some few months ago. Unemployment, entrepreneurship was also there, and among others. So more like we had some highlights already, and we were discussing them before the budget was read. And so to some, there was no surprises. Largely in the budget as far as the earlier discussions were concerned, because we knew some of these things should appear in the budget, especially with the unemployment bit. But there has been other highlights of the budget after it was read that has actually generated a lot of discussions. In fact, two areas that as we speak, is still being discussed in the whole of the country. One is the road tolls suspension, and the other is the e-levy. Or the e-levy. Let me simply put it that way. The e-levy.
Now, you can even say Baumia digital tax.
No, that is not Baumia digital tax. That is what the minister, the finance minister said. He said the e-levy.
Electronic levy.
Electronic levy. Whether it is Baumia or it's for Akufo-Addo or it's for Ghanaians.
Because you have been championing the cause.
You look at that. But then let's start from this point. Let's look at the budget. There are a lot of things in the budget. A lot of things. Of course, it still remains a budget until Parliament's approval.
Exactly.
Good. So let me start with anything that excites you in the budget. It's a long, so many pages and all that. We had a lot of things, from digitization to taxation to, how do you call it, infrastructure to employment, among other things. Even the law school, the legal issues were also there, where some 800 people would have to be called to the
I was very disappointed in the issue about the attorney. If you look at the section,
the breakdown,
you'll be disappointed.
You will come to your disappointment. But let's start with what you found interesting, what you think is good, what you think that perhaps with more seriousness from the side of the government, this is an initiative, or this will be a policy direction that's going to drive the country's economy on the right path.
Well, thank you so much once again. To begin with, some of us have tagged this budget as a killer budget. Nothing good in this budget. There's no hope. There's no hope. Even to extend, a market woman, the drivers, and whatever, people can easily interpret this budget into some level, because it's too open, it's too clear in the public domain. What is there to excite people? What is there to rejoice?
If you say there is no hope, is it the usual rhetoric where a government, let's say the opposition, can never, as far as Ghana is concerned, the opposition never sees anything that the government does, and vice versa. The government also never sees any suggestion from the opposition to be positive.
When you want to expect a market day to be good, you look at the day before the day of the market day. You understand me? Talking about the previous budget, and even the recent one, the mid-year budget review, the mid-year, okay? And looking at this one, Sam, you as a journalist, let's avert our mind back to the mid-year budget read by the same man, Kedeforata. What have changed? What did they do? Did they able to achieve whatever they told Ghanaians? Did they able to achieve? Did they able to achieve? They even mentioned about establishing a youth bank or something. 2021 budget in the mid-year review. 2021 budget. They say you want to establish youth bank. Did they able to do it? The issue about the year of road. Did they able to do something on that road that they promised?
They are still constructing roads.
What is happening today? People are complaining that they can't even bring their foodstuffs from the market, from the farms to the market.
That doesn't change the fact that roads are being constructed. Just a few weeks ago, is it a few days ago? Last week, yes, we've seen roads being constructed.
You know what caused problem? Now police people wanted to arrest the MP, Medina MP. Is it not because of the roads? Or throughout the Medina?
I'm not disputing that. I'm saying that
you understand me?
The year of roads, the year is still on, but whether some people are crying or not, some people are also happy that their roads are
we want to judge them by their performance, what they've done. You understand? What they told us they can able to deliver. So in all, people shouldn't mistakenly maybe to say I'm trying to do partisan debate or party politics or whatever. The reality of the matter is that there's no hope in this budget. This is a killer budget.
There is nothing positive or good in this 2020.
Even not we, the politicians, are saying, not the opposition. The ordinary people that even voted for MPP are saying it. You saw videos from Asante region and whatever. A lot of people, the transport unions, the Guta, whatever. You saw all of them. Civil society organizations are also out there speaking. Not even we are not even saying anything. The academians.
I've heard civil society organizations talking about a lot of good things in the budget.
That is what?
A lot of them. The youth start is one of them.
Oh, master. You see, even today, the COVID alleviation, whatever, relief that they have given people, the money, can they able to account for this money today?
Is it about accounting? This is a budget we are talking about. Is it about?
You see,
and I want us to center the conversation.
Anything that they do, they go to Parliament for approval. It becomes a law. So we have to check them. We are not a revolution. This is a democratic rule, which everything has been used and have to be accounted for the good people of this nation. Okay. So you see, talking is easier than see the practicality of whatever they are going to do. Today, as we speak, look at the confusion between the government and other institutions which this budget is going to affect them. Today, the telcos are saying that they do not even engage them. They don't know how to go about the e-transaction.
No, but that is a budget. It hasn't taken effect.
It doesn't take effect now. Look at what the road minister have done.
That is a different conversation. We will come there, but it still remains a budget because I have seen some excerpts from, the finance ministry trying to explain, especially the e-levy. After explanation, now the footnote is this: this is still a budget.
Yeah.
And the reason why, and the thing is, it's going to take effect from next year. This
Exactly.
will give them ample time to engage stakeholders on the way.
So, Sammy, are you saying in reality, in real terms, as a government, if you want to prepare something, we, as a political party, if you want to put your manifesto together, the target groups, you seek their advice.
No, that is a policy. This is a policy direction. There is an economic management committee. There is the finance committee. There is communications ministry.
Exactly.
There are all these stakeholders.
Exactly.
So the government takes this
do you know, before the budget was prepared, the transport union, they met with the transport minister, put their grievances before him, and promised that they are going to consider some of their claims in their budget. They talk about the fuel increment. They talk of so many things that it is disturbing them. Anytime they say increment in fuel prices, they are not allowed to increase the fares. Okay?
Yeah.
They made them one on one, and there is a promise between them and the Minister of Transport.
Yes.
Did they able to capture anything with regards to that? Did they able to capture anything with regards to that? Are they saying that, oh, people, you can just say it and we'll do whatever we want to do? Or they have numbers, or Parliament will just consider, let's go? Are you not working, representing people of this nation or your constituents? Some, they are not just there because of they are the most intelligent people, or they know best more than everybody. They are just there because they want to ask people to vote for them and go and represent them and look for their needs and make sure that things will not be difficult for them. Already we were told that this COVID, we have to tighten our balance. And the government have to come to our aid and assist, look at the relief, whatever it can able to do all this. Some, do you know very well that today, whatever we are saying, this budget, if it take effect in 2021, 2022, workers are going to suffer in the sense that the salary have never increased. They are still in the category of 4% and whatever. Do you understand me? And where today, some your institution, the Adoatv decided to pay you through bank, okay? And they send your money to the bank close to you here. What is the name of the bank?
There are a lot of banks here.
Yes, okay. But 1.75%, they have taken it from your salary. And now because of the convenience where you are, you wanted to take the money to your mobile account so that you can able to do whatever you want to do. Before it comes to your mobile to they have taken something. Now, your old lady calls you, Sam, I'm not feeling well. I wanted to go to hospital. You send to her, they have taken the same money. The old lady also want to draw the money to go to hospital. They have taken money from her too. After the charges from the telecoms, government also want to charge you again. Anything that you do, they have to take money from you. Is that the way to cushion the people? Is that the way to help support the nation? Is that the way to support your people? How much at all are they taking at the end of the month? How much are they paying them?
Are we making emotional arguments about the fact that the government decided to tax, how do you call it, electronic transactions, especially Momo? I read from the Ghana statistics that one of the reasons that informed that decision. So you realize that there is some exemptions, and of course, it is not just the 100 Ghana cedis. There is a lot of exemptions if you read the taxing of the Momo. There are a lot of.
They just want to play smart. These people, they want to play smart.
Well, that is the government anyway.
They want to play smart.
Exemptions in there, for instance. If you are moving money, especially in the banking sector,
yes.
you are moving money from one account of your own.
Yes.
So, for instance, you have two bank accounts,
yes.
different.
Yeah.
You want to move money from one account to the other account. There is no as you were there is no part as you were
because the levy it is working on the transaction, not the fee.
No. So I'm talking about transactions. So if you are doing one account to another account for your own self, not for different people.
Do you trust them?
Do I trust who?
The government, whatever they are saying.
It's not my duty to either trust or not to trust them. It is just what it is. They say that if you are transacting or you are doing business from one account of your own in the bank to another account of your own, another bank, that is exempted. And other exemptions, there is 100 Ghana cedis threshold. That is
do you watch the video of Minister of Communication, Esla? That if you can able to send the money in the tune of...
No, that is a separate argument. Perhaps we can do that argument. But we are talking about the fact that there is a threshold. That is one transaction. Sorry, that is one exemption.
Okay.
And there are other exemptions about it. So should we look at the fact that... and then I also mentioned the one of the reasons what that informed the 100%, so 100 Ghana cedis threshold.
Yeah.
Now, Statistics Ghana explained that they considered Momo transactions throughout the year and realized that 40% of the total Momo transactions in a year fell under 100 Ghana cedis, or let's say from 1 to 100 Ghana cedis, was 40% out of the total Momo transactions. So they consider, well, it simply means that a lot of people are transacting within this 40%. So let us not tax this 40%, but rather tax more than that. So if you do transactions, let's say 100 cedis, after that you could be taxed. Shouldn't we be looking at the government trying to raise revenue for development rather than looking at they want to tax us, You
see, Sammy.
Because whether we like it or not, every nation needs tax.
This is the government who promised to do away with the taxation to production. Yes, taxation to production. You understand me? And then we have a vice president who we all know is an economist guru or Messiah, whatever you call him. Now he turned himself to be an IT expert. You understand me? We who made the whole nation knows that the money is in this country. We don't need to go and borrow and whatever. And they borrowed more than any government under the Fourth Republic. Sammy, are they saying that with all this COVID that affected the nation or affected people, with all the issues challenging the unemployment ratio, the issue with regards to wages, the 4% people that people are crying, you still want to say that this is the way to generate revenue to develop the nation? Before, we have only one oil field. Now it is two. Do you know how much they generated from this oil field? The mortgage, our get fund, the mortgage, the cocoa.
But every country has resources. A lot of countries has resources. The resources doesn't take away taxes. I mean, people have resources.
So what we are saying is that there's so many taxes on everything that you buy in this country. There's so many taxes. They promise that when they come, some of the draconian taxes, they are going to do away with them. Just to realize that some of the taxes have been increased. Okay, this communication service tax, and they say that it is the killer tax. What happened to that tax? Today, we have sanitation tax. What is the situation of sanitation in this country? We have COVID tax, specialization tax, community tax, so many taxes on the petroleum prices. LPG gas, there's a taxes on it. Everything that you want to buy in this country, there's a taxes on it. Again, a little money. A place that we can able to do transaction, to do away with this cashless and whatever, that people cannot carry so much money in their pocket. Oh, some now, if I just need something, I was in some place that I cannot able to make my way, or some I need 20 Ghana to go home or whatever. Or can you do a move for me? Bah! I also want to go and take it. Bah! Just even, you see, yesterday I was listening to one of their big guys from the economic team. You understand me? You know what the man is saying? He said that we just introduced only one tax, the e-tax. It affects a lot of things, so many things. You know the remittance tax.
But are you aware also that in this budget the government took away some taxes, about 5 of them?
Did they have any effect in the economy?
Of course, I mean, taxes are money paid. So once you are taking it off, it is definitely going to have an impact.
You see, Sam, what people are expecting, if you listen to majority of Ghanaians, what they are expecting is they have to do something, taxes on the fuel, the petrol prices. You can't do anything that you want to do. You can take taxes from Mary, you can take taxes from Sami, whatever. You can do all these things that have to do with our daily life. Everybody have to buy a fuel. Look at taxes on the fuel. If the fuel goes up, go and take any taxes from any commodities. It still go up because the vehicle will charge you based on the fuel that he bought. Okay? Again, Sam, this budget even silent on with regards to the way and manner the measures will the cedi to dollar, the depreciation, the budget is silent on that.
What did you expect the budget to?
What we expect
mention, especially with
because now the issue with regards to the city, you know, that is what the problem lies. We rely on the foreign commodities. You cannot go to Nigeria and you want to use your cedi to buy. You have to change to naira. You cannot go to other francophone countries to buy. You have to change to safer. You cannot go to Dubai or whatever. You have to change to dollar and everything. So a moment your cedi is depreciation, if you change and the cedi is not doing well, if you bring the goods and look at the benchmark also, look at the item that I have listed, you have to also come and sell in a price that you can able to make your money. You can make your profit. They have to tell us how are they managing the cedi to dollar, because these are people that they have set a committee, like 40-man committee, to look at the deflation of the cedi. What is happening today? They told Ghanaians that they are the good managers. They have all the fine brains when it comes to economics and everything. What are we seeing today? Some things are not going well in this country. People are suffering. Today, if you want to go and buy a kenki, that's my favorite. You know, we the poor people, that's why we can able to buy. You understand me? Look at the size of kenki, the amount involved. If it is before the 1 cedi, the size is big. Now, even 2 cedi, look at the size also. When you go, they tell you that, but before even I bring the food to the joint where I used to sell, the car will charge me this, the price of the maize, the price of this. They have to all calculate, consider all these things. So what we are saying is that today, Sam, if the cedi is doing well to other major currencies, if the fuel prices is okay, we don't even waste our time talking about all this.
But if the fuel price is up on the international market, what do you expect government to do locally?
You see, Sammy, we all know this thing. And we turn blind eyes to all this and make campaign on this. Because when you are saying something, it means you have a foundation, you have a plans, you have a plan B working towards that. Well, let me come and say that what Sammy is doing is not managing the fuel price and everything. When I come out do this, we have a footages. President Akufo-Addo is saying that I'm coming for the poor, the fuel prices, all these things. So that means the data is deceiving Ghanaians. We have not any clue. They are clueless. They have nothing to offer to Ghanaians. Let me just come and lie to them. Just vote for me and do whatever I want to do. You understand me? And you see, you asked a very nice, very intelligent question. Sam, today, if you wanted to support your people and the world market with regards to fuel is up, as a government, what you need to do is look at your expenditure. Look at your expenditure.
If you say you should look at the expenditure, I mean, how?
Government machinery. Today, take the budget of 2022 and look at the money that goes to the office of the president. And the people that have increased employment, they have added another number to the number that has been there. And you have to pay them. Look at the travels of the president.
The president doesn't just travel. He travels on purpose.
He travels on purpose. So which you have to go on this luxurious jet in the expense of the cost. You don't look at the cost to save cost. But if you say you want to protect the public purse, what are you talking about? I still have to look at the cost. Sam, today, I'm managing my own way to come to this program. Okay, I have a means of transport to come here. Okay, I can choose to come with trotro. Okay, a taxi, Okada or Uber or whatever you it. But to save costs, I will look for the one that I can able to make sure I will save costs. Whoever is supporting me, to say, oh, I cannot be giving you this money every day or whatever because of the fare is too much. Also, if that is the case, let me wake up early and join Trotro. Trotro is the one which it can able to help me. So government cannot even do that. Government cannot even do that. If today, as a government that who care for his people, who want to look at his people and tell them, oh, my people, you are suffering. The 70% increment to the Arctic 71 holders, whatever, we will not even do that. Let's calm down. You, the ordinary workers, the civil servants, or whatever, the 4% is not okay. Let's go to even 10% or 12% or 15%. The government cannot even do that.
But what the government can't do that because perhaps the government doesn't have the means. If they don't have the means, how can they?
So you don't have business being there. You don't have business being there. You don't have business being there, Sammy. If you want to give excuses, you see, as a leader, you don't give excuses. You give solutions. You don't give excuses. You give solutions. As a leader, you don't have business being there. Why are you accusing your predecessor? What's so many jargons trying to laugh at him, this and this, let him look bad in the face of people, paint him black.
Because the predecessor was also not doing well.
You say?
Because the predecessor was also not doing well.
You do better. Now it's worse than the predecessor. People are judging. Now you're doing worse than your predecessor. Now James stand tall. Anywhere you go, you walk shoulder high.
How do you measure that? That a previous government who was not doing well against a current government who is also not doing well. I mean, how do we say one is standing tall in not doing well? I mean, not doing well.
You can just measure because when we you can just even use the debt aspect. You borrowed to do something for your good people of this nation. For tangible, people can see that, or you borrowed this money, this was able to do it. President Akufo-Addo borrowed more than any government. Now, you know the public debt is around 341 billion. Within 4 years, 9 months. And what he met is 122 or 120 billion. Ask yourself, Sam, this 341 billion Ghana cedi, can they able to?
There is something small on it.
Correct? Yes. Can they able to pinpoint that we are able to do this with this money, whatever this and this?
Of course they can.
What is it?
They are constructing roads.
Oh, master. So JM, look, during the JM's time.
No, you are asking us.
Yes, what I'm saying is
that
which roads are they constructing? I'm coming from the Volta Oti region. Still our roads are very bad.
That doesn't mean they are not constructing roads. You know they are constructing roads.
You see, Sammy. Sam, there is a levy.
You see, that is why I was saying that. Is it the usual rhetoric of...
There's a levy that...
A certain, I mean, the opposition never sees anything from... And it's not exclusive to the NDC alone or the NPP alone. When the NPP was also in the opposition, there wasn't a single thing that the NDC government did that was right in their eyes.
The simple answer I will tell you this morning or to your viewers is that too much is given, much is expected.
So even if you see road constructions going on, you say because you're opposition, no, they have done nothing.
No, I cannot say that in the sense that in my constituency, some of the roads has been tied, okay? Some of our inner roads has been tied, okay? Which for the first time in the Fourth Republic, that we have seen something small that MPP have done in our constituency. Since Fourth Republic, before Camp Zero, we have seen development under JM, under Rollins, late Rollins, may so rest in peace. We have seen a lot of development under Mills, may so rest in peace. We have seen a lot of development under John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency. This is the first time under Fourth Republic that they are able to do something in our constituency. You see, Sam, to whom much is given, much is expected from you. The resources allocated to you, do it and use it for something else. Now, money that we borrowed during our time, JM time, we can talk at the Abuaze gas pipe or whatever, the people that are working on it now. When you talk about that gas plant, the company there, compared to all their small single room boy all companies that they were Pentinamento, people they just give people support, do whatever. Go and put erect a billboard there. We have done one this, one factory, whatever. And compare this factory, that people that are working there, and the money that we have been getting, and this factory are going to pay for itself. Go to Terminal 3, go to some banks, go to some hospitals in this country, rich hospital and everything. So to whom much is given, much is accepted. That's what you can use to measure. Oh, that's today. If I find myself on Dubai Circle interchange, I can say, oh, JM has borrowed, but this we have done something. It eases the traffic and everything. You understand me? The same money that he went and borrowed that we used to construct the Tema interchange, the Pokashi one and everything. It's true. It's our money. They come and make that money and continue the project, and that is good to me. Because it's SL General Dramani Mahama when he's making his thank you talk.
The Tema interchange project is under the Euroject project. That money didn't come under JM.
Who facilitated the project?
The whole thing started under President Kufuor.
Yes, and then who continued it?
So then, if you want to talk about continuation, then the MPP also came to continue.
But what I'm saying is that the money came during our time.
But you didn't go for that money. Someone borrowed it. So, for example,
and then
you borrowed a lot of money. The money came under President Kufuor's government.
Yes.
And they have used the money for that purpose.
Yes.
So you don't say that we borrowed it. So that's what I'm saying. That then the constructions, you are also, some of the constructions projects that you are also, I mean getting the title for. The monies came, or the initiation started under Kufuor. So
and we give some indication on that. We let people know. You understand me?
Of course, but
you know, some we don't behave like the way they behave. You understand me? The you know, N1, the N1, the Achimota. Yes. When Kufuor started, okay, Mills completed the road. The day of inauguration, he invited him. Rollins started weed down. Kufuor came also, did something, and then we completed the weed down. JM completed weed down. Invited Kufuor to come there. What stopped President Kufuor to invite JM to the motorway and then the percussion? What stopped him? What at all do you want? Because today,
but that will not change the fact that GM has contributed. Whether GM is there or GM is not there, whether GM comes to do the inauguration or GM doesn't come to do the inauguration, the fact that GM has contributed to that project will never change.
But it is only people that think positive or people that knows who say that, oh, GM have done something.
But what is it to us? I mean, what is the essence of whether GM should inaugurate or not inaugurate to us? What Ghanaians want is our road. We do not care who comes to inaugurate it. We have road, and that's the most important thing.
But are you saying that if governance is continuous?
We know, every Ghanaian knows.
I succeeded you, okay, and you started something. I completed it. So if I want to do, and you are alive, you understand me? For the sake of unity or the statesmanship.
Exactly.
Have to change or something.
But if I don't invite you to there, or if I invite you, I mean, I don't know the impact on the road. There is a road construction. You started it.
Yeah.
You borrowed money to construct a road. I continue from where you left off because you left government.
Yeah.
I continue, I complete it. I go to inaugurate. I didn't invite you. It doesn't take the road from there. I invite you. It doesn't change anything.
So if you don't invite me and I'm alive, I'm still in the country, what signal are you sending to the international community? Those who give us money to do it.
The international community is interested in the money being used for its purpose. It's not who inaugurated it.
So the unity in the country within the two leaders is so important.
So I mean, the fact that
it's so important.
So if I invite you, that means unity.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
Exactly. So are you saying today that if you have been
the other government institutions, you
have been nominated for some award, okay, that you Adoatv has been awarded something for the media best political morning show of the year and whatever. Okay, and so the management thought it twice. Though these are boys, these are people
I understand it. That is good, but that's a different conversation because
so everything is politics. Everything is politics.
No. Listen, I don't know. I don't understand what you. For instance, the when the STC was revived,
yeah,
I remember Akomia invited his predecessor.
Yes,
that is also okay.
Yes, Nyoma.
But if it doesn't happen, let's speak to Dr. Walanyo. Dr. Walanyo is an economist and is actually the executive director for the just pardon me, executive director for the Center of just a minute. Hello, Doc. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
Oh, good, by grace.
Okay, great. So Dr. Olanyo is the economist and executive director for the Center for Greater Impact Africa. Thank you, Doc, for joining us this morning. We really are grateful for your time. Doc, we spoke before the budget was taken to Parliament to be read. You highlighted a lot of things. You mentioned so many things. And then finally, the budget was read. Some of the things I remember that you mentioned were captured in the budget, especially on the taxes, widening the tax net and not trying to burden Ghanaians or the very people who pay, or the small amount of number of Ghanaians who pay the taxes. I also remember you mentioned unemployment, among other things. Kindly give me your general comments on the budget you heard being read 2 days ago. Were your expectations met?
Thank you very much. Once again, good morning to our cherished viewers across the country and the globe. Now, you realize that as the COVID has affected the global economy, every smart government needs to take proactive measures in order to bring the economy back to life. So I was expecting the budget to outline measures to be able to redevelop the local economy. And I think I've seen a few of those places and programs that have been adopted by the finance minister. One has to do with the allocation of resources to develop a very robust agri-businesses and agro-processing. I've seen also allocations to develop the pharmaceutical industry, as I said the other time. Three, I've also seen that government is committed in developing the petrochemical industry and make it more robust. But even the way I was expecting the commitment to be, it has not been that target. Four, I also saw that the government is ready to support technological infrastructure. That is supporting a very strong digitization policy to be able to formalize the informal sector of the economy and make it more resilient and be able to contribute their quota for national development. And so, looking at all this coupled with the entrepreneurial development thing, and somehow the government has done quite well on paper. And because competition is also another issue. The state government is able to maintain fiscal discipline and social discipline as well. I think with what we've really been able to implement it, it's really going to be a game changer for the next year.
Thank you for raising those highlights. Now, as usual, the budget was met with a lot of mixed reactions in the country. People have expressed a lot of disappointment in some specific highlights in the budget, especially the electronic levy. I do not know how you take in former videos, some speeches by the vice president, current vice president, reminds us of the fact that he was really against taxing electronic transactions, especially mobile money. So we have seen footages where he said, no, we don't have to tax electronic transactions, especially mobile money and all that. But this is where we are now. I don't know if you are okay with the e-levy taxation or not.
I think the government has been fighting to Ghanaians about the e-levy. Now, you realize that the levy with necessary evil. And so the reason being that you realize that the COVID has exposed other countries, and more the world economy is moving towards the digital economy or the internet economy.
Yeah.
And so we are gradually migrating from traditional economy to an internet economy. And for that matter, all other activities, major activities, transactions are all done through the internet. And this we use our mobile phones to access the internet and do all other stuff, like transferring money from your bank account to your mobile wallet, transferring mobile wallet to bank account, receiving remittances and all of that.
Yeah.
People use the internet to buy and sell and pay for goods and also use it for marketing purposes. And all these are all digital. So the government is saying that once we are all migrating from traditional economy to digital, then education must be diverted to digital economy. So that's how we all contribute our quota for national development. And I think it's a smart way. Every developed country, go to Asia, go to Europe, to America, this sport has really built the economy. So government will be there, the pool of revenue that is coming every second, every hour is so amazing. And so if government is able to maintain this and not abuse these resources, I think 2022 is going to be an interesting year in the history of this country.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. If government is going to maintain discipline and not abuse what it earns. Now, look, there has been a public outcry. I mean, the consumers and then the people that is going to affect, that is the taxpayers, are actually not happy with the fact that certain 1.75% or certain transactions are going to be taxed to a certain level. And they are not happy. They wish government would backtrack on that particular policy. You have explained that, of course, it's needed, like you mentioned, the necessary evil. If every government needs taxes, but should it be this way where it discomforts or it makes the citizenry uncomfortable?
I think that in normal circumstances, every rational human being find it very difficult to pay taxes. We all try as much as possible to evade or dodge tax. That is natural. Secondly, I think that we don't have problems with the tax or taxation. The people get happy that they pay tax for their roads to be built, for hospitals to be built, for national insurance scheme to be expanded, to include more drugs, to include more medicine. They want the pension scheme to improve. But then they continue to pay all the taxes and their standard of living remain the same. See every of these things happening in their various communities. So they have every cause to complain. And the gap between the rich and the poor society is so amazing that the poor citizens fight to be paying more tax or be paying tax at all. Simply because they feel like they are not benefiting from the tax regime and all the purpose for which these taxes are being collected has not been materialized.
So Ghanaians have a problem with the usage of the tax, what the taxes are actually being used for, and not but the threshold, especially with the Momo, 100 Ghana cedis in a day. People, there have been other opinions that thinks that the threshold, something can be done about the threshold, or perhaps more exemptions should come out. The taxing of the electronic transactions alone is not bad entirely, but perhaps more exemptions, and even if the threshold could go up a little to just help a lot of these petty traders who do Momo transactions to be a bit comfortable.
I think government needs to bring back their communicators to really explain that portion, because the rationale for the 1.75% has not originally been applied to the normal mobile money that we transaction that we do.
Yes.
The 1.75%, it's applied when we use our mobile money to do other online transactions. Like for instance, moving money from your mobile wallet to your bank account, moving money from your mobile account to your mobile wallet, using your mobile to pay for an online transaction. These are what is going to attract 1.7%. But the normal mobile money that you go and withdraw 50 cities, 80 cities, less cities from it's costing 1%. So I see no reason why government is not going to come out specific expect these two governments that the mobile money charge of 1.6%, it's when you are using your mobile money, your Momo, to do online transactions. And not that when you send you 100 cities, you are going to withdraw 100 cities, then they charge you 1.75. No. My question is moving the money, that money that is crediting you. The question is transferring the money from bank account to your mobile wallet. Then he is going to pay up 5%. Simply because it is not mobile money to mobile money. It is another transaction, an online transaction to mobile money. Money to mobile money. Then to attract 1.75%.
I've also seen concerns about the taxation or the government targeting the providers of this medium to transact business. In as much as the normal consumers are not happy, the network providers are also expressing some concerns, because one of the concerns, whether we like it or not, is that the numbers perhaps may reduce. In fact, people have argued about financial inclusion, where the government's agenda on financial inclusion may be affected. You want everybody to be included, but even though some explanations are coming in, and of course we will all understand, people still think that this will affect the government's agenda for financial inclusion.
Well, all depends on the kind of financial engineering that the government has put in place. And I think that with the financial inclusion, that the digitization is really going to help us to harness the economy. And government needs to be very smart in taking decisions. And so if you are not smart, as I indicated, everybody is moving out to online. So if you are still targeting the local traditional type of buying and selling, at the end of the day, people are selling their houses, their homes, and people are marketing it, people are paying money. And so if it's not ticket, the best thing that somebody will physically pay up, and somebody will go to the bank and go and pay, and at the end of the day, you tax. So the work they're talking about is moving to an online economy, online tax. So government needs to catch up with that system. And I think that's how come the government has to be able to move the digital economy and be able to professional access to money. So it's about the beginning of everything that are challenges. And so let's start implementing and we'll see the challenges and how best we can be able to resolve those issues.
Okay. Now, let's move to another topical issue that came out of the budget, and that is the road toll. Now, government says it is doing away with the road tolls because if you consider technically what the road toll does, it's more like costing us more than, what it brings in. 78 million Ghana cedis yearly or annually. Perhaps also losing a lot as far as production is concerned, because there's a lot of delayed traffic and so many other things to do. So it is taking away the road toll. Let's look at the economic impact of taking away about 78 million Ghana cedis. How grave is this? Do you think it's a right decision for the government to do that, or it's a good decision?
Well, it's great that will continue to say that the traffic have stopped people that is related to activity. So we need to move on to the traffic light so that every car will fly. Now, coming back to the road toll has been with that and it has generated enough revenue for us. The problem we have is that everything government is managing, we have to make accountability. But it has created just for the unemployed youth, especially with disability. Now, if the road to is giving us a fixed amount of revenue generation, why do you abolish it? Simply because we have two challenges. Now, if that amount of revenue being generated from the road, why do you want to cancel it for a program that you have to pay?
Hello, Doc.
We don't manage an economy.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, sir.
Please, I think your line is breaking a little, so if you can adjust yourself a little so that we can have a smooth
well, I'm
feed.
not. If the road lady or the road to is giving us a good amount of revenue generation, you now abolish that, abrogate that, and go for a contract that you are yet to take. Now, wanted to replace it with another mode of revenue generation. But you have not even piloted that program and see whether it will be successful or not.
Yeah.
So it's just like the crowds have gathered to pray. And you have seen that the crowds have gathered, the people water in Canada, you pour it out. And can you just imagine the crowds used to produce waste? What will they do? You now need to go around looking for water for domestic use. So I think that we should have enough much to a new system is ready to get enough revenue price. We need to run the two concurrently for some time and see whether the new system is really going to work effectively and efficiently, and whether it's going to deliver us that expected revenue generation before we decided to do away with the hand that is here. There is a thing the hand that shoots you. So I think that was a political decision and not an economic decision. The government is that they're doing what very and capital.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, sir.
The line keeps giving us little issues, but I've read opinions from other economies, other people. For instance, Professor Kwesi Prempeh wrote that the only reason why he supports this abolition of the road tolls is the fact that our roads, none of our roads seriously even qualifies for tolling. And while some of us also think that we should think of going the automated way. So automation should perhaps, as we are trying to digitize the economy, we should be considering automation because it's been done elsewhere and not, in fact, abolishing it totally.
Well, the thing that we have to handle the snake limit. So every economy is a model of development. So if at the end of the day we look within our local economy and know the areas which we can tax to be able to generate revenue, I don't think the road to putting definition in the world that we should meet this standard before it is put. And so every country, no matter how it developed, started to be something. Apparently, they might start the road to and use the living up, develop or construct more fantastic roads. And so I believe that everybody has his opinion. And what I'm saying is that the system that we want to introduce, and for which matter we wanted about this one, we have not even tried it and tested it and see whether Ghanaians will respond to it and whether it's really going to generate the expected revenue for us. So why do you want to throw a system that is working without any problem away? Yes, for something that we are yet to. We don't do that in times and seasons like this when managing an economy. And I said that because maybe the government will be interested in winning the next election, we wanted to put out policies and programs so that we win the interests of country.
Yeah.
Now that comes to the thing they said, I know that we should do APH and so we are bringing the road tolls back again. Government can plan that. At the time that we find ourselves now, let's cancel any economic decisions and political decisions and replace it with pure economic decisions. And that is the only way that the country can do. Now, our debt to and our debt stock is so high, 335 and above.
You see?
Now, that has allowed us to going out to looking for funding. And so at the end of the day, we need to look at the IGF, internally generated funding. And so if there is a system that is generating some funds for us, irrespective of how much it's generated, we are all used to the rotos. Since before I was born, collecting rotos. And when I'm traveling, I need to pay rotos. I don't have problem with that. Apparently, Ghanaians might not like an incident now because they might say that there are fine. So you maintain the old price. After all, it has created a lot of opportunities. And it's besides that, it's generating revenue for us as well. Like as we come to Accra, I think the only nuisance toll booth is Kaswa. The Kaswa toll booth, the traffic is just too. But besides that, the rest are almost outskirts town. And so that's the impact on productivity is minimal. And so making the toll at Sunset Bridge, across over there, how is that affecting productivity much? The toll that is at the Sudan Corporate, how is that affecting productivity much? The one that is at Lao, how is it affecting productivity much? The one that is at Sydney, how is it affecting productivity much? I think government wants to talk about maybe those in the cities, right? We can reconsider that and say that, okay, those people are moving from one point to another working. And so we want to remove those in the city and put them housekeeping down. I think it's welcome. But for you to scrap everything, and moreover, this budget is for 2022. It's not meant for 2021 financial year ends in 31st December. So even if presenting a budget for next year, there is no single iota that we need to implement it in 2021. That will be a conspiracy against the will of the people and the will of the Constitution. And so we need to be very mindful as to the kind of decisions that we take. Once you have been appointed as a minister or as a this, as a that, then whatever that you feel like you just get up and think without taking the interest of the people into consideration. Government does not take that kind of stance. And we need to be very mindful of the kind of decisions that we take.
Interesting, quite eye-opening. But Doc, before we let go of you, what do you think? This still remains a budget. It still remains a budget, and whilst we wait to we wait to see the Parliament's approval or parliamentary approval. For instance, we are in November. Fine, November is almost ending, but we would have some few months or weeks for government for Parliament to give us an approval for the budget to also take effect in 2022. What would you expect Parliament to do? Like you just mentioned, if you have not even piloted a policy to see how it can take off or the impact it will give the economy, you shouldn't just go ahead, perhaps for the sake of politics, and just start throwing things into the system. Do you expect Parliament to stand against some of these policies so that maybe government will backtrack on it or go reconsider and come back and take a look at it again, so that at the end of the day, the citizenry gets the maximum impact of some of these policies?
Well, I think we have a collective responsibility in which we need to get more economic as our representatives into Parliament. If not, one day the Parliament will become a rubber stamp, because every sector, as far as the bill or the budget for 2020 is concerned, every sector needs to be reviewed and critically analyzed. But most of the times, people at a technical know how to do that. So at the end of the day, people don't want to worry themselves and put necessary pressure on themselves and get taken this part. When it is passed, now come to the various political parties and start shouting that the economy is too hard, this policy is making living standard to reduce, is making cost of living to rise, and all of it. Meanwhile, the policy that was implemented was still the Parliament. They were part of the parliamentary. And so I believe that we have responsibility as citizens to elect at least people because they are in an area, or the person has done KVIT and all these things right. Because if there is not a kind of work that's supposed to be done in Parliament, I don't think Parliament has more than one third of the kind of facilities that they need in Parliament. The rest, they are only adding up to their numbers.
Well, Doc, we are very, very grateful for your time this morning and for the insights you have given us into this, some of these discussions out of the budget. We will come back for more from you, but thank you very much today for being with us.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir. Thank you so much for doing a great job for this country.
You're welcome, Doc. We are grateful for the compliment as well. That was Reverend Dr. Olanyo Mensah. He's an economist and also the Executive Director for Center for Greater Impact Africa. He gave us a lot of comments on the budget. Now, our brother from the NPP has just joined us, and that is Mr. Warbeck Atusifa. Welcome. Good morning, sir.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
Very great. Greatest apology to our cherished viewers for my lateness. An apology to my brother as well. In fact, it wasn't intentional.
I was thinking that you are on holiday with the president.
Because of how wonderful the economy is moving, I even overslept last night. In fact, so sorry.
Good for you.
And I had to pack somewhere to take Okada. No, because they know how the economy is moving. Sometimes when you sleep, we're able to oversleep.
Some of us have different opinions to asking whether the economy made you well. Some of us haven't been sleeping at all. So
that's when maybe of course, yes. Some of us. In fact, that's the NDC people.
No, I'm not an NDC people. I'm not an NDC.
No, unless you refuse to call a spade. But frankly speaking, looking at how COVID-19 has taken over the spirit of the economy, and the economy is still progressing.
No worries at all. We will come there.
Thank you.
We will come there. So we spoke with Dr. Olanyo on the economy, and then we have on the next discussion we have Gloria Edith Mensah on the line. She is a lawyer and lawyer expert, and then it's going to speak to us about something that is happening now. With regards to the road tolls and its abolishment, the budget was read 2 days ago. The very evening, the transportation, roads and transport minister released a statement and asked that, or instructed that, all road tolls collection should be stopped, and so it stopped immediately. The Speaker of Parliament came the next day and said that you don't do that. You don't just abolish or you don't just start initiating or enforcing certain policies in the budget without parliamentary approval. Now, that is the stand of the Speaker, who also has other people backing it. And then on the other side, I've seen the Deputy Finance Minister, Dr. John Kuma, saying that no, the Speaker cannot ask that the Road Minister withdraws his statement. I've seen the majority leader, HMS Abonso, also giving his support on that statement. So we are going to find out what the law says, and Mrs. Edith is going to help us that. Good morning, Mrs. Edith. How are you doing, please?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much for giving us your time this morning. Now, there seems to be this tussle between two sides of Parliament on the enforcement or on the instruction that the road minister gave that road tolls should be stopped, or road tolls collection should be stopped. The Speaker of Parliament disagrees, simply because this is actually a parliamentary act, and it is not an executive instrument or anything. It's a parliamentary act, and that needs parliamentary approval to be amended or even to be repealed. But on the other side, Dr. John Kuma has or is thinking otherwise. He says no, the Speaker of Parliament rather erred in calling out the minister to withdraw his statement. Where do we stand? I mean, I don't know. How should you put it? How should you go about some of these issues as far as the law is concerned?
Okay, thank you very much. I would not want to take a stand, but I would say that the Constitution has made provisions for the procedure by which tax would be imposed or varied, etc. Article 174 of the 1992 Constitution has made provision where you want to impose a tax or vary or waive a tax.
Okay.
And it says that it has to be subject to prior approval of Parliament.
Okay.
Yes. So the finance minister, having read the budget, this has to go through parliamentary approval before it can be implemented. However, I will say that the proper forum, because it's a matter of interpretation, so the proper forum to interpret this provision or to say whether the compliance or non-compliance of the road minister is right or not is the court, the judiciary, and not Parliament itself. So where Parliament thinks that there has been a breach of the Constitution or the Minister of Roads actions are in breach of what the Constitution provides, I think the appropriate forum should be the judiciary, the courts.
Okay.
And not for Parliament to be ordering the road minister to act.
Okay.
So, as much as I think the road minister rushed in bringing out that notice, because he should have waited for parliamentary approval, I see a situation whereby the executive is trying to act like the legislature.
Okay.
And the legislature is now also trying to act like the judiciary. So I think each party should be able to come together for the proper thing to be done.
That's interesting. Now, I have read about the fact that if the roads minister wanted to have his portion of the budget enforced immediately, the finance minister perhaps could have sent a bill to Parliament under the certificate of urgency to amend the schedule 1 of the fees and charges under that instrument, which fixes the Road and the Bridges Act. So there was actually a window that the Minister of Roads and Transport and together with the finance could have actually explored to enforce this, but it looks as if, like you said, in as much as you think that he rushed, it looks as if they didn't pay attention to that and just came into the public to just put it out there. Would this attract any further wrath from the Parliament if Parliament decides to go by some of these provisions that has been made for the minister?
You see, like I said, parliamentary approval, whether a certificate of emergency or whatever, it has to still go through parliamentary approval.
Okay.
Then, but as to what Parliament will do, I wouldn't be in the position to say this or that. But I'm saying that the proper forum is the court, because both parties believe that what they are doing is the right thing. So we have the court to tell us what is the proper forum, or what is the proper procedure to follow. So I think if they are not able to agree on what is the best action, then they should go to the court. So the court will tell us.
Understood. I understood perfectly. I also read another opinion that says that the executive, as in the minister, can also suspend the law. And in fact, there is precedence, let me put it that way, there is precedence to the fact that the executive can suspend the law. For instance, I was given, or my attention was drawn to the, I think last year or two, when the towing levy was introduced, where the citizenry were not happy about it. So the executive just pulled the plugs on this, and we didn't see any towing levy. I do not know. You are the law, and so I don't know how this opinion or this argument can stand. Do you think it can stand in any court of jurisdiction?
I have been reading articles on this particular opinion, but I think they are two different things.
Okay.
In the initial example that you gave, you could see that a law was passed.
Yeah.
The public raised issues about the law. It wasn't implemented at all. The law was not implemented at all.
Okay.
So the executive decided to suspend it. But in this situation, it was a law in force.
Okay.
They were collecting the toll. And now there is a variation whereby the executive have decided to stop collecting that toll. I see this as a variation of an act that was in operation.
Okay.
So this has to go through parliamentary approval.
Okay. Okay.
Because that act was in force. It was working.
Okay.
And now it has to be removed. You can't compare this to an act that was passed but did not come into force.
Okay. 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 That is great. I have more to to ask you, but I think we would be very grateful for you to you for giving us this explanation, and I think we will come back for more. I mean, as the development comes up. Thank you very much, Madam Edith, for giving us this explanation. We are grateful for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So that was a lawyer telling us what is the way to go as far as parliamentary acts, something that is enforced, something that is a law is happening, and then the executive wants to take a decision on it. If it is not, if it's an executive order, if it hasn't gone through parliament, if it's not an act by parliament, then the executive has some powers to repeal or ask for repealing or even suspend it. But if it is actually a parliamentary act, then you still have to come back to parliament or perhaps use the emergency window that has been provided, emergency certificate, under an emergency certificate, and then explore that option and get whatever you want to get done. Let me come back to Maestro has spoken a lot, but let me come back to Mr. Welbeck.
It's not my making. He delete.
No,
He's enjoying the economy.
Because you've had a full day.
He's enjoying the economy.
Quickly, just in a minute. Give me your impressions about the budget. Just in a minute before we go to the road tours. Yeah.
Okay. In fact, good morning to our dear viewers. I think so far so good. The budget has been able to capture most of the salient points Ghanaians are looking forward to. Because over the period, we all know what has happened. Quickly, April last year, 2020, the price of fuel, I want to make a point, per barrel was $16. As we speak, the price of oil per barrel is almost $82, $83. Okay, so this points to the fact that COVID-19 has really had enough toll on every economy, in fact, the rest of the world. Now, looking at the budget, what has government done? Government has planned, virtually, even though it's yet to approve, to revive the economy and to put the economy back onto its wheels. We took over a very shambled economy that was almost started.
Every government takes over a shambled economy.
You may be right, but in our instance, just like starting
a
project,
is concerned, no government has ever taken a good economy.
No. In fact, the ex-SY administration took over a wonderful economy. That's when we discovered oil.
They have a different...
No. They ask for them, they always have a different view.
Okay. Yeah.
My so here will always have a different view. But the point I'm driving at is, we took an economy that was at stage 0.
Okay.
Yes. And we've been able to restore the economy back onto its wheels. As I speak, government has rolled out the Abatampa CARES program. And in fact, this CARES program is going to revitalize most of the companies and the institutions that have been affected by this COVID-19. As we speak, people were complaining about the increment in fuel. Gas is in the Asia, in Europe, there's shortage of gas out there. And this has even brought about high demand on oil. So when we talk about oil, the prices in fuel is not as a doing of the government. In fact, it's from the international market. Again, the budget has captured how we are going to manage the economy in a way that it will facilitate and provide jobs for the youth. Let's look at the U-Bank. U-Bank, in fact, U-Bank and the U-Start, very good. This is a wonderful initiative that we all know unemployment is a disaster. It's a problem in the economy. So this U-Start, U-Bank is going to create jobs for the teeny youth. I mean, to help boost the economic development. Again, look at the industrialization program and the digitalization. before every economy must advance, it is hinged on two major elements: industrialization and education. Look, we've come out clear that before industrialization can move on, we have to put up industries, factories. 1D, 1F is rolling, and the budget has been able to capture how we are going to support, in fact, continuously, how the economy is going to be on its heels to create employment, more employment, to boost revenue, GDP, and in fact, they're not sure the budget. We've never seen such a budget before, even though there might be one or two issues.
I was coming there. What are you not excited about as far as
we are not excited about the fact that
as far as this budget is concerned?
Yes, we are not saying all is butter and bread. No, that's not what the MPP is saying. All is noble. All is noble because we took an economy that was in fact that was on bedridden, and had in fact the last drip. In fact, without our intervention, the economy of Ghana would have collapsed totally. So that's the point. We say it. All is not well.
Still, with your intervention, we are using 77% of our revenue generated to pay debt. 77%. That is scary.
Very good. In fact,
if this is an intervention, then I don't know what kind of.
No. That's why the budget clearly states on the fact that we are trying to. We are on the path of entrepreneurial development. That's the theme of the budget. So we can't continue to use 76% of our revenue to pay salaries or what. No, that's not it. So we are on the path of creating jobs and to boost entrepreneurial development. That's what the budget critically states.
Okay. Now I'll come back to you. Okay. Maestro.
Yeah.
The tolling abolition. I mean the toll booths, taking off the toll booths completely, has been met with a lot of reactions. In fact, one of the first reactions was whether the minister was even right to come and start the whole process immediately after the budget was read or not. That is whether the minister was right or not. So Parliament has issues with that. The minister also says no. We suspended the law. We didn't repeal it. We didn't stop the law we only suspended it, and they have the executive power to suspend the law. Now the other side is the citizenry. And even the economic impact. When you listen to the economists saying that, I mean, this is bringing in a certain amount of money annually, whether you have problems with it or not. Pilot the other means to know how perhaps you can replace or mitigate that loss that you are going to make. Because 78 million Ghana cedis annually is money, whether we like it or not. Now, you stop it, it means you are not going to get 78 million Ghana cedis again. Where are you going to get the money from and all that? And its economic impact. Give me your thoughts.
Well,
I'll give you the next 3 minutes to do
that. Sam, you see, we have to respect the good people of this nation. And MPP, they don't have respect for Ghanaians. They don't respect the parliament. It is like one-man show. I was listening to a lawyer, the lady. She's saying that they want to act as executive at the same time as a legislator. Why can you do this? Under which jurisdiction? Under which country that can you do all these things? You see, it's a shame. It's a shame in the sense that a cabinet minister, a senior member of the parliament, a lawyer, you know all this and trying to do all this to disgrace the nation and disgrace your party and disgrace yourself. It's a disgrace. The MPP, because of their cruelness, or trying to please their paymasters, or trying to catch the eyes of their leaders, they will be going all over defending this nonsense. Excuse my language, this nonsense. You see, as a lawyer, Sam, if you look at what the Minister of Finance said under that issue, the abolishment of the Rule 2 and everything, it is there black and white, saying that they want to make sure after the approval of this, so that it will take effect in 2022. This is what the man said in the budget that they prepare under your ministries. As a lawyer, you know all this, and you want to do this shameful act. You don't even think of the people that work there. You know, according to the country, we have 38 stores, and government control only 18.
That is the public tolls.
Yes, public tolls.
On public roads.
Yes, on public roads.
There are certain roads that are under the PPP arrangement.
That's right. That's right.
That's not captured under this.
Yes, the 38 is public one, which government control only 18. But the other ones are on contract. there are contractors which also were managing that. At the end of the day, they pay something to the government. You understand me? So without even regards to talk to our people and everything, Sam, do you cite the letter that the minister released?
I saw it. Yeah.
Before the day or 2 days before the budget statement, the ranking member on roads and highways, Honorable Komagoja, said that he was asking the deputy minister that where is the minister? How did they arrive on this? And what are they going to do on this these disabled people, whatever? They are working on this and everything. And the deputy minister told Honorable Agoja, the tape is there yesterday on Parliament, front of Parliament, saying that the minister traveled. So when did he prepare this letter to issue this instruction? That all the tolls have to be abolished and everything. Nobody should go there. The police have to go and man the tolls and everything and make sure that they bring sanity and everything. You see, it is time for Ghanaians to know that these people are clueless.
Okay.
They don't have anything to tell Ghanaians.
Okay.
They fail, and nobody to have time to listen to them.
Thank
Today,
you.
listen to even the hawkers. They're saying that they were even waiting. These are people that came to them during the campaign and campaigned to them.
But the hawking, I mean, the hawkers around these areas, I listened to some conversations. I mean, there is no profession like hawking, any career like hawking.
Exactly, farm. So how did they earn living? There's no job. My brother just talk about the issue about the job and everything. You understand me?
Hawkers are not. Hawkers are not. I don't know whether it's illegal.
Is it intentionally or something?
No.
Is it intentionally or something?
Hawkers are not illegal. I mean, they are not legally allowed to be on hawk. The fact that we have allowed it to be happening a long time. They are putting their lives.
This has been there, and the policy makers has been seeing them.
That's what I'm saying. That we have allowed it to happen. That doesn't make it right. Now, let me quickly on that. I watched the Kaswa MP.
Yeah.
I watched the Kaswa MP.
Yes, say he's going to have some relief from support and everything.
Yes. Instead of allowing his hawkers, he has asked that. They also join some existing markets. They can try and then give them some small capacity so that they can, so that it doesn't become. And then the toll operators, I mean, those who collect the money, have also been reassigned, as the statement by the minister.
Reassigned where?
They've been reassigned.
They have
reassigned where? It's a process.
They have actually been absorbed into the ministry.
Very good.
Reassigned where?
That's what I'm saying. They have been absorbed into the ministry.
There's a communique.
Exactly.
I've not cited that.
Okay.
And then they own them 2 months arrears and everything. They don't even tell them.
2 months arrears is, I mean, they are not out of job. They are still working.
And some, did they even inform them? Did they engage them? Tell them that
that is a different issue.
It's law. We are not in a lawlessness. We are not in the banana republic. Let me end finally and say that you see the parliament shouldn't allow this to go.
Thank you.
They should deal with the minister.
Yeah, I can come in, please.
Yes,
thank you so much. Once again, thank you. I think we want to clear the impression as if something is wrong. There's nothing wrong. Yes, first of all, there's nothing. I was even jotting down some point.
Wow.
Let's look at the constitution.
There are a lot of things wrong. There are a lot of things wrong.
In line with this
Parliament says you cannot. Parliament says you cannot use the executive order to suspend a parliamentary act. It is not done.
No, Article 106. In fact, spells have the legislative processes of Parliament. It's clear. And again, Article 117 speaks the fact that Parliament exercises the power according to the Constitution. Now let's see. The power rests in the people. In any way, what has happened? Is it bad or good? Right or wrong? I'm coming to a point.
But you don't break a law trying to do
the point I'm driving at is no law has been breached. In fact, this is just a matter of procedure, matter of operation. No law has been breached. This is a matter of operation. Fine. What does the law say? Parliament, we all know Parliament passes all the acts. This is a parliamentary act. But as the minister breached any of the
there is no way in the Constitution that the executive get the power to suspend a tax imposed by Parliament.
I know Parliament, one of Parliament's functions has oversight over the executive body, right?
So it ends there.
No.
You don't have the power to suspend the law imposed by Parliament.
My brother, my point is, this is an administrative issue. This is not a matter of law.
This is a tax. This is a law passed by Parliament.
But in any way, look, in January, 1st January, I read it, I think 2017, during the vetting session of the minister, the road minister, he even said when he's giving the note, he will make sure he review the toll, the toll, how much people pay. You know, Ghana, we pay the least amount for toll, almost 50%. But the average is $1. But here we are. he had the intention of reviewing, but now
so you see, he appreciates review.
Yes,
now,
he appreciates review.
Would go to Parliament because the Road Toll Amendment Act is by Parliament. So you go to Parliament.
No two ways about
review.
Exactly.
No 2 ways.
So same way, you cannot stop or suspend that tax by the executive order unless perhaps that particular tax or whatever it is.
Okay.
Some power has been invested in that particular ministry.
Yes, that's
to
why,
stop or
like
suspend
the lawyer rightfully even mentioned that is not a matter of. In fact, it is the court that can give the best of explanation. This is not a matter of.
No, the procedure is already. We don't even have to go to court.
No, but this is not a bit to any parliamentary act. I beg you. It's just the procedure which has changed. In fact, maybe at the appropriate time, the minister should be.
So are you saying that the speaker
because
don't know what is
we all know what happened in the country when tolls were being introduced. People were complaining. Look, let me tell you, in 2017, do you know how much you got from the toll? We had almost 1.5 million Ghana cedis. I'm making a point. And you know, it takes more than 1.4 to construct a kilometer road. You get my point? So meaning we don't even get anything from the toll. Everything we get is used. That I'm dating back to 2017. I'm dating back to 2017.
You have 2 minutes.
Yeah, per the roads and highway, the report they came out with, they had a little over 1.4 million Ghana cedis out of the toll, all the toll they collected. Now, the point is to construct a kilometer road, not even asphalt. It will cost you more than 1.4. So I mean, what are you getting? Okay. The government is already suffering. That's why the budget, even with the 1.75 E11, no, it captured that part of it to be pumped into road infrastructure. No, the government is already suffering. Construction of road is a burden. Now here the situation that we've even abolished or suspended what is helping the government to construct roads.
Thank you.
And this is a good news for Ghanaians.
Thank you.
Again, I beg you. He says there were workers and the workers have been denied. It's neither here or there. Very good. Thank you so much. And again, we all know the impact of traffic. Traffic yesterday, I lost almost 2,000 Ghana cedis because of traffic.
Thank you very
much.
So
let's look at the toll, the implications of the toll and the toll they bring. Thank you. So there's nothing wrong.
Warbeck speaks for the NPP, and then Jibril Maestro also speaks for the NDC. Yes, because you were late. We started very early. No, because you were not here. Thank you very much. So on Monday come. No, the apologies doesn't affect our programming and our timing. Thank you very much. Unless you want to buy airtime, we can give you an invoice right now and then. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming. And we will come your way once again, God willing, on Monday. My name is Samuel Kusapi. I thank the production team. Thanks to Ananyama. Thanks to Ijeoma, and thanks to our director and producer. Bye-bye.